some of the factors that we have to consider are material handling, as I was talking right now, capacity and space requirements, environment and aesthetics, and all the flows of supply chain management. That is to say, material flow, information flow, financial flows. Remember, for example, even that in certain cases, where you will locate a factory may be affected by incentives, tax incentives, or other financial incentives that a government is willing to give you. And cost of movements between different areas. As always, the main point here is to consider your critical success factors. Also, as a reminder, what is the main thing to consider when deciding the type of organization? Productivity and costs. And this will also revolve around your critical success factors. So, let's start talking about hybrid processes, for example. Work cells is where you have a highly focused work line. For example, paint jobs, metal press, explosives loading, that kind of stuff. Then you have the focused work center inside the factory. That is an in-house work cell. Finally, you will have the focus factory, which might be in a separate facility. For example, a fast food joint, an out-of-house work cell. The main idea behind all of these is always to reduce costs. Remember what we saw in chapter 8. The main idea of localization, and organization is akin to localization, is for manufacturing to reduce costs. So, the work cells, for example, we're talking about a highly focused work line. When we're talking about a focused work center, is to take a work cell and sometimes put it, even though it's isolated, to put it inside your factory. For example, when you're manufacturing cars, sometimes you put the paint section inside your factory, but it's completely closed. It's like a factory within a factory. And other times you want a focus factory. In the focus factory, for example, the press. These are huge presses for making automobiles. Sometimes we're talking about 120, 200, 300 tons of capacity to press, to make the doors, to make the lids of the engine or whatever. And they make a lot of noise. So you put them in a separate factory, and then they sell to the factory only the doors, the lids, or whatever pieces they make. Then we have, how do we organize the offices? The offices organization. Well, here we talk about information flow, production, productivity promotion. That is, we try to get our people to be more productive. We also try to make a very efficient use of a space. However, one thing is to make an efficient use of a space, and another is to pack everybody like cattle or like chickens in a barn. No. Efficiency means that they must work better, not just put a lot of people in one space. There's also an intangible asset, our image. Sometimes we need to organize our office just because one of our assets is our image, and we need to be shown to the public. Sometimes we need to comply with the standards. Remember, they depend on different factors, culture, which country you are, what type of service you're given. In all these cases, we're trying also to reduce costs. Now, when we talk about the retailers organization, here we're trying to expose in order to sell. People get in love through their eyes. What they see, they want. That's why retailers know that they must organize in order to show you a lot. If you ever have been to an IKEA shop or store, you will know that it's huge and that it's really a place where you can walk for hours without end. Why? Because they have so many good things and they have so many large things. So they have taken this concept of exposing and forcing the customers to walk, to expose themselves to all available products to a really good limit. They even have usually a fast food joint that is located in the middle, because usually you have to stop and eat, and sometimes you choose your famous Swedish meatballs. I don't know why, but everybody talks about it. The idea between the retailers organization is to use the service space. We check out the environmental conditions, the spatial organization and functionality, and we use a lot of communications here. Posters, symbols, whatever. The basic precept here is to increase sales. Our lesson will continue in the next video.